On Saturday, May 31st, 2014, Morgan Geyser and Anissa Weier lured their so-called best friend into the woods in Wisconsin and stabbed her repeatedly 19 times. They then left her to die, which thankfully didn't happen, and later were found in these woods on some journey to find something. All three girls were 12 at the time of the stabbing. But what could cause someone so young to do something so gruesome? It's simple, really. Slender Man told them to. That's right, the fictional creepypasta character instructed the stabbing. In Geyser and Weier's words, not mine. They became so obsessed with this myth that they wanted to be one of his proxies or followers in normal language, completing everything he told them to do just to be accepted into his mansion in the woods that they were finding when they were found. Creepypasta has led to multiple gruesome things. This is just the most famous story. Today, in my podcast, I'm going to cover what creepypasta is, for most of this podcast, to be honest, how it affected children and still does, to this day, and lastly, the more serious true crime it led to. To get right into it, I'm going to give you a rundown of what creepypasta is, because most people don't know. Creepypasta is a horror story website that was popular in the 2000s that was basically a forum for those who like things spooky and scary. The term creepypasta is now used to describe any horror content posted onto the internet. Creepypasta are most commonly known as user-generated paranormal stories that are made to scare people that read them. There are many topics of creepypasta, and some of these topics are ghosts, cryptids, murder, suicide, zombies, aliens, rituals to summon supernatural entities, haunted television shows, and video games. These stories can range in length from single paragraphs to extended multi-part series that can spawn across various media types. Some have even lasted for years, and I still see very famous ones to this day. I'll be scrolling on TikTok and I see a video about Slender Man in the year 2024. Creepypasta finally came to the public eye after the 2014 Slender Man stabbing I just mentioned. After the murder attempt, some administrators of the Creepypasta website made statements reminding readers of the line between fiction and reality, which this pretty much goes for all fandoms. I have mentioned the Creepypasta Slender Man, but some of the other very famous ones are Jeff the Killer, Ben Drowned, whose theme song called Song of Unhealing is playing in the background, Ted the Carver, and Sonic.exe. There has been a long debate over what the first creepypasta was. Some believe it to be The Rake, a fictional monster created by the 4chan users in 2005, while others believe it to be Ted the Carver, like I just mentioned, the 2001 story. Though if you look back, the earliest creepypasta originated from 4chan, an online image board. Creepypasta-dedicated websites started to appear later in the 2000s. The infamous website Creepypasta.com was created in 2008. Many games, short films, feature-length films, and even merchandise have been created/produced based on creepypastas. And on a less serious note, my favorite merchandise is this year's Spirit Halloween mask of some of the characters. If you look up Jeff the Killer mask, it is the doofiest thing you will ever see, and it's insane. But back to the seriousness. Some of the other genres of creepypasta besides stories are lost episode creepypasta, which take childhood nostalgia and distort it into something horrific and unfamiliar. The most known being Squidward Suicide, Suicide Mouse.avi, and Dead Bart. Video games are also a very famous genre of creepypasta. There has been games made on Roblox, standalones on their own website, and even Minecraft mods you can download onto your game. I would spend a while going through and describing some of the stories of as many creepypasta as I can, but truly that would take ages because this thing has been around for years and there's so many stories across many different platforms. Now, how did children find out about these creepy characters? Well, YouTube exists. Everyone knows what YouTube is, even kids. A trend of calling creepy characters at 3 a.m. became a thing during 2015 to 2018. And guess what creepypasta are. They're the definition of creepy, obviously. So, of course, videos like calling Jeff the killer at 3 a.m. or calling Slenderman at 3 a.m. started to appear on kids' pages, with extremely catchy and colorful thumbnails, much liked by the human eye. Videos also titled "Drone Catches Jeff the Killer Sneaking Into My House" also became very prominent during this time period. This goes for all creepypasta. Videos of people reacting to them, videos of people catching them even though they're fake, became very popular, and lots of kids found out about these characters, and they became like mainstream characters during these years. Now, these videos are obviously targeted towards children, and they are scary if you don't have the concept that fiction is not real in your head, which most children don't have this concept down yet. Because of these videos, children could not sleep at night or truthfully explain to their parents why they were so scared to go to the bathroom at night without being embarrassed. I can say this because I was once one of those kids. And trust me, it was embarrassing explaining to my parents that a character with a stupid smile I found on YouTube was the reason I couldn't sleep. Well, now I told you about the Slenderman stabbing, but there's also a lot of other true crime based on creepypasta. In 2015, a 12-year-old girl stabbed her stepmother to death before setting her apartment on fire. Can you guess why she did this? Yep, a creepypasta somehow instructed her to do it. The creepypasta being Laughing Jack, an imaginary horror clown who befriends children and then infects their dreams. Now, there is another Slenderman stabbing that also happened in 2014. This time, a 13-year-old girl stabbed her mother repeatedly in the kitchen. Luckily, the mom survived with minor injuries. The worst part is, the daughter was waiting for her as soon as she got home, wearing a white mask, a blank white mask, just like Slenderman's face. There is nothing about Slenderman in the stories telling children to burn down their houses. But that is what a 14-year-old girl tried to blame it on when she attempted to burn down her parents' house with a bedsheet and a towel soaked in bleach and rum, almost killing her mom and 9-year-old brother. Now, there's this creepypasta named Walking Sam, who inspired suicides in South Dakota between December 2014 to 2015. I wouldn't even be bringing this up if it was like 1 or 2 attempted, but around 9 people passed away because of it. 103 to 241 attempted because of Walking Sam. They attempted suicide at Pine Ridge Indian Reservation in South Dakota. It is not confirmed if Walking Sam inspired all these, but it shouldn't be a coincidence that so many attempted at one place in 1 year. Now, I'm getting to the 10-minute mark. Not really, but I just like to over-exaggerate. But I spent most of the time explaining what creepypasta is and the different types, just because it's the most interesting thing to me. But I think that was the most important part of this podcast, and it helped explain what creepypasta is and how it could lead to something so important like the Slenderman stabbing. Today, I explained what creepypasta is, how it impacts children, and what major things it caused or inspired. I hope you enjoyed and learned something from my stupid ramble. Thank you, and I'm out.